Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in your Fortnite video. In today's video, I want to give you guys some very good settings to try out to help you guys build faster, or if you like to build smoother in the game. I wanted to give you guys some very good settings that you guys can try to help you guys do one of either of the two things. I will show you guys some very good settings to help you build a lot quicker, and I'll also show you guys some very good settings to try out to help you build a lot smoother. And real quick, before we get into the video, I'm going to be giving away V-Bucks every single week. So if you guys want a chance to enter my V-Buck giveaway and win 2,000 free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do to enter that giveaway is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And lastly, comment down below either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And also, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom, click on support a creator, type in my code. My creator code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to give you guys some tips, some suggestions, and also some settings that you guys can use whether you like to build a lot faster in the game or if you guys like to build a lot smoother. I'm going to give you guys some tips and also some settings that you guys can try out that I really like when it comes to building faster and also smoother in this game. So the first settings that I want to show you guys is going to be how to build a lot quicker, and I'm going to be specifically focusing on the building and editing sensitivity because those are going to be the most important when it comes to building and editing. So when you are looking to build fast, you obviously would want to raise your sensitivity, but there is kind of lines that you don't want to cross. You don't want to go too high. So I really wanted to make the perfect settings for building a lot quicker. And also, one thing to keep in mind is when it comes to your X and Y sensitivity, it has a great impact on your building and also editing. So here in the building and editing, I have a 2.1x. And then for my editing mode sensitivity, I have a 2.3, and I really do enjoy and I really do like having a higher editing sensitivity than a higher building sensitivity, because when it comes to editing, there's going to be certain edits in which you really want to you really need to have a higher editing sensitivity to get the edit off, because the closer you are to the wall, the more you have to move. So I do like having a higher editing sensitivity. But like I said, your X and Y sensitivity, I play on a 52% on both, and this has a drastic impact on how your editing and building feels. So if you played on like a 28, you obviously wouldn't play on this low, but say you played on the 27% X and Y, your building and editing sensitivity is going to feel significantly slower if you have a lower X and Y sensitivity opposed to like a 52%, or say you were on like a 60%. But I also do have an elevated analog stick and extra tension, so that's why I play on a 52%. For most of you guys, I would recommend playing on like a 48%. That's what I had on my regular controller. Anything from like a low 40s, maybe like a 44 to like a 48, I would recommend for an X and Y. And then obviously you would just move your building and editing sensitivity. But like I said, I just focus on building and editing sensitivity, so I would really just not recommend changing your X and Y at all. Just keep it the way it is, and then try out a 2.1 building and a 2.3 editing. I think this is quick enough to build very quickly, but also at the same time, if you raise your building sensitivity too much, you're going to end up building like that, and it's going to be very sloppy. You're not going to be able to build correctly, and it's just going to be hard to control, because that's really the key when it comes to building a lot slower. Not really slower, but a lot smoother and a lot quicker in this game. When you are building a lot quicker, you want to be as fast as possible, but at the same time, you don't want to be super sloppy. And for those guys who play on controller and you have a really high building sensitivity, or even a really high editing sensitivity, it's going to be too fast to control for most players, meaning that even though you're going to be very quick, you're not going to be very efficient, and you're going to mess up so many builds that it's not even worth it. So I feel like the sweet spot for me and for you guys would be a 2.1 building sensitivity with a 2.3 editing. Obviously, you can maybe raise up your building to a 2.2 if you like it, or even just lower your editing sensitivity to a 2.2. Like I said, these are just suggestions, but I really do recommend, and I really like these settings a lot, because with the building sensitivity being 2.1 and the editing being 2.3, it's quick enough to where I'm building very fast, but also not too quick to the point where it's super sloppy, I'm not able to control. And to be honest with you guys, if you are looking to raise your editing and building sensitivity, or you're really any raising of sensitivity, doesn't matter what it is. For me personally, what I've noticed, it's a lot harder to get used to higher sensitivity than it is to lower your sensitivity, because when you lower your sensitivity, you basically give yourself a lot more time to react to each of your movements. But when you raise your sensitivity, it gives you less time. Of course, when you do raise your sensitivity, it just takes a little bit to get used to, and then you'll be fine. It won't be a big deal. But keep that in mind, it will take a little bit longer to get used to raising your sensitivity than opposed to lowering it. And the reason why I have a 2.3 editing sensitivity is because when it comes to these edits that are close to the wall, so if you're really close to the wall in front of you, you have to be able to have a high enough editing sensitivity to be able to edit that structure very easily. Because the closer you are to a structure, the more you have to move. Same with like if someone's 1,000 yards in the distance, you barely have to move your analog stick. But if someone's right next to you, then you have to move it a lot just to keep up with the other player. So going into the smooth settings, I would really recommend for you guys to try out is going to be a building sensitivity of a 1.8 and an editing sensitivity of a 1.9. I really like these settings a lot when it comes to being able to build smooth, and there is some other settings I will show you guys in just a second you can also try out. But with these settings, I'm also keeping in mind that a lot of you guys do play pubs, so obviously you can try even lower settings that I will show you a little bit later that I really do like as well. But at the same time, you want to be able to build quickly but also very smooth, meaning that you're going to have to lower your sensitivity just a little bit. I wouldn't go too crazy with it. I'd have a 1.8 building and a 1.9 editing, which isn't too ridiculous. But when it comes to being able to make those movements on controller to be really smooth, you do have to play on a lower sensitivity because that is going to give you a lot more control over your builds. So as you can see here, I still have the same X and Y sensitivity, but when it comes to your X and Y sensitivity, I would recommend being in the 40s. For me, I do have a 52% because I just have a ton of extra tension on my analog stick, plus it's really tall, meaning that I have a lot more control than like a normal player like a lot of you guys have, just have regular controllers without any control freaks or anything like that. So I really would recommend your X and Y sensitivity be in the somewhere in the 40s. That's just what I would recommend. When it comes to choosing your editing and building, I just like 1.8. I was trying out a few different settings, and I feel like a 1.8 was the best settings to have when it comes to being very smooth, but also not being too slow to the point where if you need to make a quick adjustment, so maybe you need to hit like a double edit, then you're able to also do that as well without having to be too slow with it to the point where you're not able to connect on the edit. And so I have a ton of extra clips of me building very smooth, and to be honest with you guys, I'm still getting used to it. Obviously, there's a lot of other players who are a lot better at building smooth than I am, just because from all the pubs that I've played and all the arena games, I've been building extremely quick the entire time. But I know a lot of you guys are looking for some extra sensitivities to build slow, so that's exactly what I'm going to give you. Now, you can also lower your sensitivity even more if you guys are just a creative player. Like here, I lowered it to a 1.6 building and a 1.8 editing, which is a lot smoother than the sensitivity before. But the reason why I didn't recommend this for a smooth setting is because if you want to play pubs or arena, especially against high-level players or players that are genuinely pretty good at the game, you're not going to be able to be very good on a, say, 1.6 building sensitivity. I feel like it's just not going to be enough for pubs. But if you are playing a creative and you're just looking for some very good smooth and very clean looking clips, I think a 1.6 building and a 1.8 editing sensitivity will do the trick. Everything looks very smooth. As you can see here, it's a lot smoother than the sensitivity I had before, but also at the same time, if you are looking to have a smooth building and editing sensitivity going into pubs, you obviously want to keep in mind that if you are going against players who are pretty good at the game, that it's going to be a lot more difficult to win consistent gunfights and also be consistently fast and as well smooth when you are on a lower sensitivity like a 1.6 and like a 1.7 or 1.8. That is going to be a lot more challenging to win. I mean, you can still do it, but it is going to be a little bit more challenging. That's why when it comes to your sensitivity, you really want to find that good balance in between being very fast, also being smooth and accurate as possible, and also at the same time considering when you're going against players who try their absolute nuts off, like these Keybot players run into pubs every single day, that you still have a good enough building and editing sensitivity, or what should I say, a high enough editing sensitivity and building to where you're able to compete with those players without having to, I would say, be too sloppy or be too slow. So those are going to be all the settings I recommend. Like I said, I'm just focusing completely on building and also editing sensitivity. I wouldn't really recommend changing your X. If you already like your X and Y sensitivity, I would just keep it the way it is, and then just raise your building and editing accordingly. Just try it on a 2.1 and a 2.3 for fast, and if you like to go smooth, then you can just drop your building sensitivity to a 1.9 and your editing to a 1.9. I would recommend giving those a try. But with that being said, that's wrap it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys found this video very helpful. And if you guys could, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys can see every single new video when it is released. And as well, I do stream every single day at 5:45 Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to see my streams, if you guys currently aren't watching them, definitely come by my streams. It's a ton of fun. And I stream every single day here on this channel. So make sure you guys do come by my streams if you guys aren't currently doing so. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.